I sometimes honestly think we forget to look at the book of Revelation because it's towards the end of the Bible, and I just feel like sometimes we don't look at it enough, and I feel like it's so important in seeing how God is actually working. And if you're looking for a reason to see Him in your life, this is where you need to look, because the book of Revelation, especially when I'm about to read chapter 21, it's all about how God has previously said all these promises throughout the Bible, and they're finally coming true as He's going into His final moments and about to be resurrected. So, chapter 21, it starts saying, "Then I saw a new heaven and a new earth. The former heaven and the former earth had passed away, and the sea was no more." So, like I said, we're finally seeing a fulfilling promise God has previously said in Isaiah chapter 65. He said, "Behold, I will create a new heaven and a new earth." And He's finally saying it right here. John witnessed this. The earth literally passed away, It says in the Bible the earth was not meant to last forever. And when He said He saw a new heaven and a new earth, it was going to be cleaned. There's going to be happiness and joy and worshiping among people and just happiness. Matthew 24, verse 36 said, "Heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will never pass away." And you've probably heard that verse before, but I feel like we so focus in on the last half of that verse. My words will never pass away. Because we're like, no, earth will be here forever, the heaven will always be the same. It kind of goes in cycles. The earth was not meant to last forever. And then it says, "I also saw the holy city, a new Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from God, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband." We've never seen an ugly bride. I mean, they are all stunning, beautiful. So as John describes it, it's going to, like I said, be a clean city. It's going to be amazing. Verse 3 says, "I heard a loud voice from the throne saying," this is kind of a real witness, "Behold, God's dwelling is with the human race. He will dwell with them, and they will be His people, and God Himself will always be with them as their God. He will wipe away their tears, and there shall be no more death or mourning, wailing or pain, for the old order has passed away." So this is saying that God will be one with us. We're going to be joined in eternity with Him as He has descended into heaven. And knowing that after this, He will be one with us. He's going to be watching over us all the time. And I think, as it says, wiping away our tears, it's such a powerful thing, because if you've ever had someone wipe away your tears just like this, it's just like this heartwarming thing that you can't explain. It's just so heartwarming, tender, and He just wants us to know that, death and grief, He will take that from you, and He will put that on Him and take it off of you, all because of this. And then verse 5 says, "The one who sat on the throne said, Behold, I will make things new." Then He said, "Write these words down, for they are trustworthy and true." Now, when it says, "Behold, I will make things new," that is in present terms. It's right now. I will make things new. He's constantly doing this, coming into people's lives. He makes all things new for those who choose to believe in Him. Every day I feel like there's a new believer of God that comes in and loves Him. So every time someone bends on His knees, He's making things new. He's fulfilling love. He's fulfilling promises. He's fulfilling your life and purpose here on the earth. God hasn't created a need in which He hasn't given you supply. Just think about that. There's never been a time where God has put you in a situation or an event in your life, or a time where He hasn't given you some supply and the courage and encouragement to get through it. He then goes on in verse 6 to say,
He said to me, "They are accomplished. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. To the thirsty I will give a gift from the spring of life-giving water." Like I said, he's giving supplies for you. You will run with him now when he descends. He's going to give you what he needs. "The victor will inherit these gifts, and I shall be his God, and he will be my son." And it says right now, this is in verse 8, it's kind of a warning sign. It says, "But as for the cowards, the unfaithful, the depraved, murderers, unchaste, scoffers, idol worshippers, and deceivers of every sort, their lot is in the burning pool of fire and sulfur, which is the second death." I mean, this can be quite scary. I mean, these aren't the sins that get you into hell, but the lifestyle of those who choose to reject God. You know, there's a difference between being a non-believer in total and a Catholic or Christian who sins but knows they did it and asks for forgiveness. You know, there's the difference. Asking for forgiveness and not asking at all, just throwing it away. You know, if sinners went to hell, we would all be there. The Bible even says we all sin. It literally says we sin. And it's okay to sin, but you have to ask for forgiveness. Faithful us, not refusing to allow him to forgive us. That's the difference, like I said. So allow for forgiveness from sin. You know, God has bent over his backward to make sure no one gets to this place. I mean, it's free. He does everything he can to make sure we don't go there because he knows how horrible it is. And he loves every single person on this earth. I mean, he created them. And he wants us to go with him when it's our time. So, I mean, this last verse can be quite timiding. But just know, like, that isn't the last nasty that gets you into hell. Or if you do this, you can't go into heaven. He just wants you to know that. Ask for forgiveness from your sins because that is what gets you into heaven. And to know that, you know, whenever you're going through a bleak time in your life, that God is up there for us. He did this for us, and know that he's there for that reason, and to just lean on him, lay your worries at his feet. And I hope this message kind of inspired you and helped you know, even as Thanksgiving is coming up, to be thankful for what you have and for him. And yeah, so thank you for watching, and I hope you are having an amazing day and you are very blessed.